This video is about gastroparesis. Those of you who have been recently diagnosed with gastroparesis or have had it for a long time understand that it is extremely heavy weight material for medical terms. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but essentially, if you're in shock or if you just don't know what to feel about some sort of diagnosis, you kind of go into this mode, whether it's extreme or whether it's doing nothing because you're in disbelief. Worry is an extreme emotion during this time. I was misdiagnosed with gastroparesis back in 2011. I had actually been wrongly diagnosed subsequently about 10 months before, in the fall of 2010, with gastritis. I will kind of briefly take you on that journey and then tell you things that I did learn about gastroparesis. I could have been a victim of gastroparesis, but there were other circumstances that made it look like I had gastroparesis because the doctor who diagnosed me did not know what he was doing, and it needed significantly more testing had to be done to actually determine what the heck was going on. So in the fall 2010, I was told, you need Protonix, 80 milligrams twice a day, which is not the recommended dose. It killed my gallbladder in 9 weeks, and it also caused gastritis. Protonix and the other PPIs, as well as H2 blockers, which are over the counter, and Nexium, that's a PPI, it's not an H2. Any of those are actually to heal gastritis. They also cause gastroparesis. They slow down motility because they're eliminating acid. Your gastrin level goes up, your acid is eliminated, you can heal quickly. However, if you have an infection, it's like there's layers to the gastritis issue and what actually causes it. But it's a double-edged sword because you can get an infection while you're on a PPI, among a lot of other serious conditions. Essentially, so I was put on the PPI. It caused gastritis because I was constantly nauseous. I had no idea what was going on. I was getting tremendously worse because my gallbladder was basically stopping. It was not pumping, and it was slowing down. Gallstones were forming, going down the bile duct, and it was blocking the pancreas, causing pancreatitis for several weeks, over 3 months. Even after my gallbladder was removed, I had chronic nausea and pain. I thought it was just because of the pancreas, and so did the doctors. None of them will ever tell you PPIs cause gastritis, but it does. If you do reading on it, you'll understand the mechanisms and what really happens. So anyway, after my gallbladder was removed, they basically diagnosed me with gastroparesis after a 2-hour emptying test. If you know what an emptying test is, essentially you eat a radioactive egg. They monitor that. They're supposed to do it for over 4 hours. They do that at Temple University. Dr. Henry Parkman did a battery of tests and determined that I did not have gastroparesis. So for months I was taking a stomach emptying drug called domperidone, which is like Reglan. It's very harsh. It literally murdered my insides. That entire time I had gastritis. It was almost 10 or 11 months. And then from then on, for 2 years, I had chronic gastritis. So gastroparesis, though, can be caused by a surgery. It can be caused by vagal nerve damage. And your gallbladder is under your right breast area, and it's right under the liver, kind of smack dab right there. And if they cut or nick the vagal nerve during that surgery, now most of the surgeries today you have 2 clamps where it connects to the bile duct. Anyway, so that's one way you can get gastroparesis. It will literally stop all function of your stomach, because you have several parts of your body, usually in joint areas, like under your arms. I mean, there's arteries, there's veins, but the vagal nerve is running throughout your entire body. It stems down your legs, it goes through your stomach, and it pumps your stomach. So without your stomach pumping, you're screwed. You're really screwed. You will lose weight because you can't function without food. And it's also a nerve issue for people who have diabetes. That's the second way. So you got surgery. I don't want to say a botched surgery, but an accidental, a serious mistake done by a general surgeon. And a lot of times they'll cover shit like that up. Just pardon my French. I know that's not French, but I don't even know why people say that. Essentially, vagal nerve damage. It's a huge issue. If you have vagal nerve damage, you can help with a variety of ways for that. There are things that you can do at home, and I'll get into that. Diabetes, it's nerve damage. It's severe nerve damage. Anyone with diabetes is eventually going to have digestion issues. You have to be very active and keep your body moving. You have to take lots of B vitamins. They're crucial. The third way is through what they call idiopathic. Idiopathic basically means, okay, we don't want to admit a drug did this to you and to your nerves. An infection could be, that could be the third way, but honestly, infection kind of falls under idiopathic. People get viruses all the time. A virus could destroy nerves. A bacterial infection can definitely destroy nerves. So really there's 3 or 4 ways if you want to categorize them like that. So what is the main issue though surrounding the gastroparesis issue? It's nerve damage. All these ways cause this nerve damage. The nerves make your stomach work. They make it pump. Your nerves cause all kinds of issues in your body when they're damaged or when they're severed. So B vitamins. B vitamins are crucial. Protonics and all of those proton pump inhibitors cause nerve damage. So the sick part about the GI game, you want to know what that is? They want to put all these people on these drugs. It's a catalyst. The PPIs cause gastroparesis. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, people on those drugs have gastroparesis, and then they're told, well, you're having acid reflux. You can't move your food. Okay, well, why? Because of nerve damage. So why would you take something that causes nerve damage constantly? Your gastroparesis is only going to get worse. You can get an infection or number of infections with PPIs. So everybody on these pages thinking that they're taking something to help something, when in fact they're murdering their insides. They're murdering their nervous system. They're causing infection. They probably have gastritis, and it's not from food sitting too long. It's from PPIs making them sit there. So you need to take things like l-arginine. It helps oxygenate the blood cells. It helps pump the cells. That's why it's great for hair growth, because it stimulates the cells in your head. It stimulates cells within your body, within your organs. B vitamins promote nerve health. B vitamin complexes, vitamin C, that will help nerve damage. Intravenous vitamin therapy can greatly benefit people that have gastroparesis for infections, for cellular health, for clearing out the bloodstream, helping the nerves. So B vitamins, and by the way, I don't get any promotional thing from any of this. I am an advocate for all vitamins, supplements, and herbals, especially CBD oil. I just wish marijuana was legal in the state of North Carolina, where I'm currently living. B vitamins, they're so crucial. They're crucial for your skin. They're crucial for your organs. All right. So other than l-arginine and B vitamins, and I will say, I have read before that people with diabetic gastroparesis, now I don't know if you should treat them differently because they technically are the same issue. They might have, your gastroparesis may have started from a different issue and not from diabetes. So you might have a two-pronged approach where you need tons of echinacea to combat an infection, or golden seal, which is a little bit more of a boost for antibacterial, but predominantly you want to strengthen nerves. You want the B vitamins, and you need stomach pumping. That's where the l-arginine comes in. You can get that in a powder form if you if you have trouble taking pills. A lot of things come in liquid and powder form today, so don't think that, oh geez, I can't take 5 or 6 pills a day, I can't manage that. Don't worry about that. You need to start taking things with liquid. I guarantee you, liquid will go through you. It does depend upon the severity of your situation with your stomach pumping, but if you can slowly do liquid throughout the course of the day, I mean just a few sips here and there of a special dosage of l-arginine in the water that you're drinking, and always drink tepid water, never drink freezing cold or hot water. That would just cause more issues for you. Those are kinds of things that you need to do. The l-arginine, the B vitamins. To be honest, it does depend how you have gastroparesis, because it determines how much maybe of something. You might need more B vitamins. You know, it just really depends. But if you know how you got it, you should look up those specific ways and figure out, okay, this might help me, that might help me. You know, you can orchestrate and slowly build tolerances to things, but I'll always consult with a herbalist or with someone in the field. Usually American Medical Association doctors. When I say that, I mean MDs that, you know, are pretty much by the book. They want to just give you drugs for everything, which are very harsh and cause more problems, and maybe caused your problem to begin with. Sometimes they're not open to these things. You know, some people might think, oh, why would you take zinc for this? Well, zinc can help restore cells in your gut, and your gut is probably messed up along with the vagal nerve damage itself. The lining of your stomach can also affect the way your stomach is emptying out the pyloric valve into the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. The small intestine's, it's like 20 some feet long, depending upon how big you are. But zinc can really help you. You look up zinc, and there's so many things the mineral can do, and you need to consume it every day. A lot of times people are severely vitamin deficient. If you're lacking in B vitamins, you could have gastroparesis or gastritis. There's a lot of different kinds of vitamins that can assist with immune building, not just vitamin C, but magnesium. I'm sorry, these are minerals. Magnesium, potassium, they all help cell function. They all are building blocks of your system. And I will say that there are things, though, that, you know, if you focus on the issue you have, like if you have diabetes and you need to take something for diabetes, there are so many different ways you can try and control diabetes. So if diabetes is your catalyst causing all of the gastroparetic side effects, you don't need to have it anymore. You can make sure you're doing everything for the diabetes. The problem is that a lot of the AMA drugs cause more side effects, and that's why this channel is specifically about vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbals, because I do not believe taking AMA drugs, pharmaceuticals, is the answer. It's not the answer. It should never be your first choice. But it is, because insurance companies want to, you know, there's a little domino effect with the government and the pharmaceuticals, the insurance companies. It comes full circle, and they really don't care about your health. You have to care about your health, and you have to really go outside the box, start reading message boards, start reading about alternative and integrative medicine. Integrative medicine is basically alternative medicine mixed with Western medicine. I do believe sometimes there is your disease or condition may warrant a pharmaceutical. If you're in a dire situation, you're in the hospital and you need a painkiller, or you need morphine or propofol for a surgery, or you have an infection that's out of control and you need something. But by all means, you don't first run to an antidepressant. You don't first run to a stomach pumping drug for gastroparesis. Unless you are on your deathbed and you cannot breathe and you cannot eat, you need to do certain things to get your you need to do some stuff to get yourself under control. You really do. But these things are not my last resort, but I thought I was in a dire situation because of the way my body was dealing with something in 2010, and I was completely struck by a doctor that really did not give a shit, that was getting paid by Big Pharma, Pfizer, and she basically lied on a prescription pad, and it's disgusting. And if she would know, well, she definitely knows some of the shit I've been through the last almost decade. And she nearly destroyed my life, and I nearly lost my life twice. And I'm here to try and help people figure out what can help them and what's not going to hurt them any more than they've already been hurt by a disease or a doctor. So any questions you ever have, please send me an email, and I'll be glad to look at something or read something and try to give you my best advocate advice on the health issue or condition. And you can always email me at roadback2, number 2, health@gmail.com. And I'm Meredith Ashley. Thank you.